Dear aspirants of TET, TRT or DSC, welcome to DIT Life, a channel dedicated to English language and literature. In this short video, we will solve EPITET 2018 paper and will look at the English questions in this paper. This video is brought to you in association with Nanni Gilleri Foundation. Let us begin solving the questions. We will try to solve these questions even if we are not able to guess the right answer in the first reading. So let's try. The first question is, the snow covered up the grass with her great white cloak. Okay, we do not know the meaning of the word cloak, but we know that the snow, it is about the snow and her great coat, okay, which covered up the grass. Okay, so this has to be something to do with some ability or some possession of the snow. Okay, now a white, given options are a short white pipe, a small brown and grey bird, a strong wind, a type of coat that has no sleeves. So as I told you, this is kind of a possession which covers the grass. So pipe cannot cover the grass, okay, fully. A small brown and grey bird, no. Maybe bird is not the option. A strong wind, yeah, a strong wind blows the grass, okay, but cannot cover it. So the possible answer is a type of coat that has no sleeves, perhaps. Yes. Now let's move to next question. Usha's meticulous systematic training began in earnest. Choose the synonym of the word earnest. Okay, synonym means the word in similar meaning to the given word. Okay, what is the question? Usha's meticulous systematic training began in earnest. Okay, she has begun her training, which is systematic and meticulous, but in earnest. Okay, so calm, serious, untidy and thin are the given four options. Okay, thin is a personal attribute, okay, attribute of certain thing, but here perhaps that won't fit here because you don't start your training in thin. Okay, maybe you can start being calm, you can start being serious, you can start being untidy. Okay, so I leave out untidy as well because that won't fit here. Okay, so remaining two are calm and serious. So in this case, if you are going for a meticulous and systematic training, so you are more serious than being calm. So that's how we reached, we zeroed in on serious, or we finalize serious as the option. Okay, and let's move to another question, that is Oliver was frightened at the sight of so many gentlemen, which made him tremble. Okay, this is the question or statement from the Oliver Twist novel of Charles Dickens. Choose the antonym of the word many. Okay, in previous one we were asked to give the synonym of the given word. Here it is antonym, that is opposite in meaning of the word many. Okay, we know that many means a lot more. Okay, so in this case, several, few, any and a few are the four given options. Several is similar to meaning in many, so we'll just leave this out. So remaining three are there: few, any, a few. So we are dealing with antonym. Okay, many and any are not antonyms. Okay, possibly. So we'll leave out any as well. So the option is few and a few. So we have a a situation of choosing any of these two, which are very close. But the difference between few and a few is when we are referring to a couple of things from a bunch. Okay, say for example a dozen of banana is there and you are referring to two of them, then you say a few of the lot. But when you are just referring to those two without taking into consideration the whole, then that is few. So here many When we say many, so the opposite of it is a few. Choose the word with strong spelling. Okay, there is a trick to know wrong spelling, sorry. Choose the word with wrong spelling. So there is a trick to find out correct spelling. To do that, you have to remember that any word will have prefixes and suffixes. It is a rule in any of the language, including English. So in this, let's analyze that using that trick. The first option is aboriginal. Okay, sounds normal to us. Okay, but what is the possible root word in this particular given word? So root word is the base of any of the word. For example, there is no further classification after that word, that is called the root word, and there could be multiple inflections or multiple suffixes and prefixes. So in this case, what possibly is the root here? Looks like origin. Okay, origin is apparently is the root word of here. So ab is a prefix that is being added. Null is ul, not null. Ul is added as suffix here. So origin is correct in spelling. Origin. Okay, yes. Aborigine also looks okay to read, but when we read original, okay, it has to be, I think, a sound, but given here is o. So aboriginal is the wrong spelling here. We don't need to look at other options because we have got our answer in the very first option itself. So we'll move to next one, that is Ramesh set up a new business. Yes. Choose the meaning of the phrasal verb set up in the context. Okay, when we talk about setting up set up a new business, it should give a clue that we are talking about starting a new business. Okay. Bought, no. Offered, no. Started, yes. Should, no. So Ramesh is starting a new business. Choose the suffix that suits the word quick to form an adverb. Okay, in English, one particular rule of creating adverb is by adding ly as a suffix. So to quick, if you add ly, are we able to create quickly as an adverb? Yes, we know that. Yes, lly is not the right thing, and s is used to create nouns, or is also used to create sometimes noun and sometimes adjective. So here ly is the answer. If you're thirsty, you can drink buttermilk. Okay, this is a simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and interrogative sentence. Okay, yeah. So when it comes to interrogative, we know that there has to be a question mark. Do you find a question mark in this given question? No. So this is out. Remaining three are there: simple, compound, and complex. Okay, in these types of sentences, a simple sentence is a sentence which has only one clause. Okay, but if you look at here, there are two clauses, right? You are thirsty is one clause, you can drink buttermilk is another clause. So this cannot be a simple sentence. This is also out. Remaining two are compound and complex. So yeah, coming to compound, you have to remember that to know, yes, compound sentence usually has two clauses, but those two clauses are joined by conjunction. Okay, and like conjunction like but, and etc. So do you find any conjunction joining these two clauses? No. Instead there is a comma, there are no conjunctions, so it cannot be a compound sentence either. So the remaining option is complex sentence. Okay, let's move to another one. Choose the grammatically correct sentence from the following. Okay, one should do his duty, one should do one's duty, one should do her duty, one should do their duty. So four options are given. So if say that I am telling you one rule, that is, if there is a generalization, okay, in subject, so in all the subject generalization is one. Okay, the object should also have generalization. So if here generalization is one, so what is the objective generalization? It should be one only, right? you are not referring to a man, okay, a woman, not a plural of man or woman, rather you are just going with a generic one. So in the object also there has to be generic one only. So this is the right option. Let's move to another one. How can you dash that? Okay, choose the correct form of the verb that fits the blank. Okay, so this question is having a clue of present tense or possibility. Okay, if the given options are say, said, says, have said. So let's read one by one. How can you say that? How can you said that? How can you says that? How can you have said that? Okay, so let's start with first rule, that is whenever there is you in the subject, that is pronoun you, we, they, there cannot be verb plus what do we say, s or es form. Okay, so here s and es form is there, so we have to eliminate this because it doesn't fit as per the rule of the pronoun. Okay, in this subject. So what remains are, what remains is say, said, and have said. So how can you say that? Is something that looks more familiar to us than how can you said that and have said that. So that also you can use, but since you have can, you cannot use have said. So what remains is say and said. So in these two, say appears more familiar when you read, so take that as a clue and just go with how can you say that as the right option. In the next question, they never expected to have any more. Choose the part of speech of the word never. Okay, so in any given question, if you are asked to identify parts of a speech, you have to look at or pay attention to the role this particular word plays in the sentence. In this case, this never, is it helping a noun or the verb in the sentence or doing something else? So if you read this, you expected to have any more, you never expected. So this never is adding something, some value to the expected. So expected is a verb here, therefore never, a word which helps verb is an adverb. So are we given the option? Yes, we are given the option. So it's a sure shot for us, adverb. So let's move on to another question. He hopes that he will win the first prize. This sentence has, okay, noun clause, conditional clause, defining relative clause, and non-defining relative clause. Okay, now let's look at just recall that noun clause. It doesn't look like a noun clause. Okay, does it? No. He hopes that he will win the first prize. He will win the first prize is one particular clause here. He hopes as another clause, and these two clauses are joined by a relative pronoun, that is that. Okay, relative pronoun could be that, which, where, something like that. So in this case, it is a relative clause. Okay, so there are two types of relative clauses. One is defining relative clause and non-defining relative clause. So our these two are eliminated. Okay, the difference between defining and non-defining is, in a non-defining relative clause you will have comma separating different parts, but you don't see any comma separating any part in this sentence. So it is a defining relative clause. Okay, next question is the patient had died before the doctor dash. Choose the correct form of the verb that fits the blank. Okay, the patient had died before the doctor dash is this particular example or this particular statement reminds us of past perfects, that is the train had arrived before the before I reached the station. Okay, so there the verb was reached, that is V2 form. Arriving is not a V2 form. Was arriving is also not a V2 form. Had arrived is also not a V2 form. This is a V3 form. This is past continuous. This is continuous. This is V2 form. So the patient had died before the doctor arrived is the right option. Manjula and Shruti play dash guitar well. Choose the correct article that fits the blank. Okay. So we know that a or an as articles are used before a word which has vowel sound in the beginning, but the is used for any word from the second occurrence onward. That is, in first occurrence you have already used a or an, and from second occurrence onward we go for the definite article. But in this case, in this particular one sentence, how we should guess whether this is the second occurrence of this particular article or second occurrence of the word, so as to use this so in that case you have to read this statement once again and try to guess. Manjula and Shruti played dash guitar well. So Manjula and Shruti are specifically mentioned here, and they may play so many things, but this particular thing they play well. So there is a specific reference to guitar. So therefore the right answer is the guitar. And next question is, the teacher explained the problem dash the students. Okay, choose the correct preposition. Okay, that fits the blank. This is easy for people coming from the English medium background. For people from Telugu and Urdu medium background, they find it little challenging. So in which case what you have to do is you have to keep each given option here and read. If you find that any of the given sounds familiar or correct, you have to go with that. For example, the teacher explained the problem with the students, to the students, by the students, and of the students. So of the students is completely odd one, we are removing that. By the students, no, explained by something else but not the student. Okay, like for example, I went by the car, so that is not the right thing. So that by is also out. So what remains is with or to. Teacher explained the problem with the students or to the students. So you with comes to in a situation where, for example, a teacher is using book and explaining the problem. Say for example, teacher explained the problem with the book, and he is using the book to explain it. So here with also doesn't come. So what remains is to. The teacher explained the problem to the students. So next question is, Lara is not so great as Tendulkar. There is a comparison between Lara and Tendulkar where Tendulkar looks to have upper hand. That is, he is at advantage. Okay, in terms of his greatness. So what we are asked, choose the comparative degree of this sentence. Okay, when we are talking about degrees of comparison, okay, there are 3 degrees in English: positive, comparative, and superlative. So that can be identified with the adjective. Here adjective is great, so this is a positive degree, and comparative degree of great is greater, and superlative degree of great is greatest. So let's see great, greater, greater, great. So great, great are out because we have to identify comparative, and comparative is given in 2 options. So Lara is greater, Tendulkar is greater than Lara, Lara is greater than Tendulkar. So from the question we understood that there is a little advantage to Tendulkar. So Tendulkar is greater than Lara. So that is the right option. Let's move to 76. You must take care of your parents. This sentence indicates obligation, suggestion, command, request. Okay. When there is a must or have or should, that indicates obligation. Okay, rather than suggestion, command, or request. So in this case, we'll go with obligation. Come out now, Kasil. Choose the correct question tag of this sentence. Okay, so there are 2 tricks to solve question tags. First, whenever you are solving question tags, you have to remember that the given tense has to be same. And number 2 is if the given statement is positive, the question tag would be negative. If the given statement is negative, then the question tag would be positive. These are the two rules. So we'll first apply the first rule, that is tense. The tense of this statement is looks like simple present. Okay, so in this case, do you is simple present, don't you is also simple present, are you is also simple present, won't you is a simple future. So we'll just strike this or eliminate this option. So we are remained with the three, that is do you, don't you, are you. So second rule I told you is that if the statement is positive, then the question tag would be negative. So negative means not. So in the given options we have not only in one, so two are eliminated. So right option is don't you. Let's move to another one. I'll catch you in a minute, replied Seema. Choose the correct reported speech of the sentence. Okay, when we are dealing with reported speech, again we have to pay attention to a couple of things. Number one is we have to see that the tense of the given statement. I'll catch you in a minute looks like a simple future, and who is talking here? Seema. Seema has already replied. Okay, if she has already replied, okay, remember this is a past form of the verb reply. So in reported speech this will go as it is most probably. So how many options have that? Said, says, replied, told. So in this case replied is the option. Say for example you are provided with two options which has replied, then how you would finalize? Then you have to go to the tense of the given statement and then finalize the second one. In this case it is will, right? Will in the positive in the direct speech changes to would in the reported speech. Okay, can changes to could, and may changes to might. Those are the clues. Okay, so here will changes to would in the reported speech. So here we have would, yes. So first clue is replied, second is would. So due to those two rules we are able to finalize this option as right one. Now we'll go to the last but one. I built a high wall around. Choose the correct passive voice of the sentence. Okay, again when we are solving active passive questions, we have to also keep same two rules as we did in the case of reported and direct speech. So here the given statement is in what tense? Built. Built is a indication of past tense, so it's a simple past. Okay, and second rule related to passive voice is that in passive voice, if you're changing an active voice sentence into a passive voice sentence, the subject changes to object and object changes to subject. So here subject is I, verb is built, and a high wall is a object. Okay, this is an additional part. All around is like kind of adverbial. Okay, so I changes to, if it goes to objective position, it changes to me. So we'll see how many options has me in the object. 1, 2, 3. 3 are there. So this option is out. I was built a high all around is out. So we are left with 3 options. So we'll apply this rule once again. Now subject also object also changes to subject. A high wall should come as the first thing. So a high wall is in the first option, a high wall is in second option. All around a high wall has been built. So no. So we are eliminating fourth also. First we eliminated third, applying the object subject object rule, and second we eliminated this one. So we are left with these two options. In this, let's see which one is the most appropriate or correct one. So the other rule is when we are talking about active and passive is that if this is a simple past, the passive voice should also be in simple past. So here it is, the second one is was. So obviously this is simple present, this is simple past. So we'll go with the past one. Okay. So let's take up the last question. Choose the correctly punctuated sentence. Okay, it's about punctuation, right? Comma, exclamation, those are all punctuation marks. So let's read the options. I am sorry, the chemist said. I am sorry, the chemist said. Okay, okay, okay. Since it's about punctuation, we need to know that there are two parts in given options. That is, one, the statement, the other is the one who's saying it. Okay, as a general rule of thumb, these two parts should be separated by a comma, because there is a statement and there is the person who is saying it. So it has to have a comma as a separation point. So this option has comma as separation, and this option has comma as separation. Remaining two don't have that. So 2 and 4 are out. We are left with 1 and 3. Now second thing is, whenever you are producing a direct statement of somebody in the written text, right, that statement should be kept always in inverted commas, okay, or quotation marks. So we have quotation marks in the first example but not in the third example. In the third example, the quotation mark is wrongly given to the person, because we don't keep person in quotation mark, rather his speech or his statement in quotation marks. So right option is 1. So with this we are done with solving the first paper in a series of so many papers we are planning to take up. I request you to watch this video, share with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. And again, thanks to Nanni Clary Foundation who requested us to take up these topics. And we are planning to take up more old question papers of TET of any board. If you know, or if you have any old question paper with you, you please share us and let us know in the comment box. We'll solve that. Thanks for watching.